Fuck Jimmy or do you want slime? It's me, Speckles here coming to a video. In this video, I am turning food into dragons. I do a drake, dragon, worm, and a wyvern in that order. So let's roll intro and let's get into this video and let's go. Like and subscribe if you enjoy this video. Okay, before we even talk about any of these other ones, I'm sorry, I haven't talked about dragons for a while. I've been busy. And these dragons were a lot harder to make than I thought. Yeah. Turns out making food into a dragon is not an easy task. Still picking. Yeah, actually, yeah. Lime salt. Yeah. Anyway, speaking of lime salt, yeah, that's one of the first dragons we're going over today. This is the green acidic sea salt drake, or the lime salt drake. This drake is known to live by the seashore, yes, but it's also known to go into the shore, sea, and actually live there for a few weeks every now and again. It gets its name from the fact that it's mostly green, although some parts of it, namely its lower jaw, legs, claws, the lower parts of its legs, anyways, are actually yellow. It can also spit a weird breath weapon, which I'm surprised it has because considering it's a drake, and drakes traditionally do not have breath weapons in this world or any other world in this multiverse. But this one does. It looks like your standard green drake, but it has an organ that allows it to drink salt water and convert it into fresh water. This organ is known as the desaltifier. It's located in its mouth, and what it does is it produces enzymes that can actually break down and separate the salt from the water. The salt goes down through another tube that does not have any bloodstream or anything that can absorb the salt. Even if it does absorb a little bit of it to help make up for the sodium content it needs to survive. And what it does, it actually leads it all the way to the tail and start generating bigger and bigger clumps. The one in the photo you can see has lived for around maybe 5,000 years. And these are all, funny enough, very short living dragons by our standards, because these things, usually dragons can live over a few thousand, nearly a few 100,000 years. This one only lives to be around 15,000 before expiring, if you will. Okay, what is that? I got stuck on my tooth this time around. Oh, I could easily just push that out. Yeah, jelly. Strawberry, my favorites. Okay, got that one from a dragon that I didn't really make. I just helped come back from near extinction. This dragon is known as the wobbly gelatin dragon, or the gelatin dragon. Although I prefer to call them the jello dragons, because these dragons have been hunted to near extinction, with only a few 100 remaining in the wild. Yeah, it's actually quite not that many by traditional standards. Most dragons there was around 100,000 in the wild, so quite a few. What's so special about these dragons is they're mostly translucent, and they can also regrow limbs by eating pretty much anything: rocks, plants, other dragons. They're known as omnivores, but they're also no down to scavenging either. Although they do have the unusual ability to win I'll get onto that one later. They can eat pretty much anything, and their enzymes can break it down to a clear liquid that, when they swallow, you cannot even see. Their stomach then pretty much turns into pure energy there, and that energy can be used to regrow their limbs they have lost. They are now mostly farmed. By that I mean limb is chopped off, and they are fed excessively to grow in size and to regenerate said limb. Now, these dragons are pretty much immortal, and when you send vibrations through them, they actually do cause little gyrations in them like you would with Jello. But I have tried some of the draconic Jello is what they call it. It's a very expensive dish. I've tried some, it's pretty good, but I don't condone what they do. Maybe doing this while in the wild, like letting this thing run free in a closed-in yard like a cattle. But they can always regenerate the limbs. Hence the reason why they have them chained down. I have actually looked into some of these, and their conditions are not humane. I'm saying this because all dragons are actually really intelligent. Some aren't able to talk, but they're able to understand human language. Let's move on to the next one, shall we? This next one is by far one of the ones I mentioned earlier when I was talking about getting a banana peel out of my mouth. It was because I accidentally created this one, and I was somewhat hungry for bananas, okay? Yellow banana worm, or the warming banana. This dragon is actually a very small one. It's not really a dragon, it's more of a worm anyways. Its head is somewhat similar to a cobra or whatever. That it actually does have a frill around its neck that can actually spring up. And it actually does show some aggression, although it cannot. It does have an acidic, breath weapon, where it's just high concentrated potassium. And trust me, this stuff ain't fun. Other than that, it just looks like a living banana. No joke. The thing is a bright yellow color with a brown tail end, and the head is a mushy banana color yellow, and its eye is a bloody yellow. Yeah, I said I was hungry, and I was eating a banana when I created this thing, and let's just say crossing magic with an organism that's already alive does not end well. I was actually trying to make a regular worm, because some worms are pretty nearly extinct as well. And just regular worms are pretty much endangered. Finding one is impressive enough, but finding 3 in a row, people are going to think you're crazy. Which is sometimes what they think that happened to me. Because this one time I was hunting giant track patterns that looked like worm patterns. I was thinking maybe I was going to encounter one of the little species I was already looking into, and these worms were just seeming like regular by regular old worms. I was given a description of what I prefer to call the wriggling sandworm. It's a cousin to a dragon or drake I was talking about earlier. It can pretty much grow in size, but I was trying to figure out why one was all the way down here. It made sense later this thing was close to a desert. But it turns out it was actually a family of regular worms. So I nearly got out of there with some of my clothes burned a hole through. I was wearing just regular clothes, non-magically enhanced for the record. And some holes were burned in, so I tossed that out. But let's move on to the final of today. Okay, this next one and final one is by far the most annoying one to get stuck in my tooth. Honestly, come on. Got it! How did I get that freaking bone stuck in my tooth? Ugh, really, blood? Of course, I just spent my time creating food into dragons. This is a wyvern. Also known as the hulking fried chicken wyvern, or the fried chicken wyvern. Its breath smells like fried chicken. Again, I was eating, and this one was kind of purposeful. I saved a piece of fried chicken for an experiment I decided to do, because I saw that these dragons I was creating were all food related because of the food I had surrounding and nearby. So I decided to purposely focus on one, and it turned out relatively interesting. What I didn't know is that they accidentally spilled some gravy on the thing. So when I created it, its energy layout was already fully made. I just had to put in the wyvern energy layout. And what happened was the fried chicken rapidly mutated. It grew to about 15 feet long from head to tail end with a 10-foot wingspan. And its tail had a stinker, yes, but the stinker was full of gravy. And this gravy is extremely hot. When I say extremely hot, I mean like injecting you with it. You will feel the burn, literally, as they pump gallons of literal gravy into your bloodstream. And this is a pretty interesting version of a gravy, because this gravy actually weirdly tastes good. It's non-harmful to humans unless you get it into your bloodstream. I know your stomach breaks down food and puts it into your bloodstream, but your stomach can break this down and not kill you with it. It's like regular gravy like that, but if you get it injected into your bloodstream, it would actually start merging with your bloodstream and spreading around like a virus, pretty much killing you. And then this dragon will eat you, because it's immune to its own poison gravy. Trust me, these dragons are pretty funny, and they are really exotic creatures. Like, the first one, the, lime salt drakes are found pretty much all world round. The, gelatin dragons are found in forests that are near pig farms, because gelatin is made up of, pig parts. The, worming banana is found in tropical areas that are notorious for bananas, and jungles as well. And the fried chicken wyvern, is found pretty much anywhere in North America, but mostly heavily centered around Texas. But that's all for today. Hope you enjoyed today's video, because I'm afraid that's all the time we got for today. Until next time, subscribe today, join the Spark Star Me, or Team Alliance. Goodbye, and peace out, everyone.